Hey guys, and welcome back to the Indie Movie Spotlight here on the Fronsman Productions YouTube channel. If you're new to this series, this is where I take a look at independent films to shine a spotlight on all the amazing indie movies out there. Today, I want to talk about the sci-fi comedy Safe State. Safe State was written and directed by Scott Sawitz. The plot focuses on Chris, played by Gabriel Fries, as he tries to use a time machine in order to save his doomed relationship with Veronica, played by Jessie Ann Carl. The film begins by giving us a glimpse at the end of Chris and Veronica's relationship. See, Veronica just got a new job in California and wants to move out and start her own dream life. However, Chris just can't let go of what he believes the two of them had. Consumed by video games and old movies, Chris fails to see the signs of their ending relationship until it's too late. A year later, Chris's best friend Daniel comes over with a watch that he invented that's actually a time machine. See, Daniel invented this time machine in order to say goodbye to his father. However, Chris sees it as an opportunity to be able to go back and try to fix his relationship. From there, Chris tries time and time again to go back to those final moments before Veronica walked out on him. However, this time machine only gives you 10 minutes in the past before things go back into the present with the new timeline. So in that time between past and present, all of Chris's memory is wiped. It's like his brain goes back, but his body stays. As Daniel would put it, it's like Days of Future Past. But here's the thing, with only those 10 minutes, Chris keeps struggling to try to find the right way to fix his relationship with Veronica. And each time he fails, he creates a stranger and stranger timeline. One of the best parts about Safe State is the theme that it presents throughout the movie, which focuses on being able to let go of your past and move on. While time travel might not exist in real life, the emotional state of being stuck in a bad situation, like a breakup, and obsessing over it, wishing you could just go back and change it, it's a toxic mind state that destroys the rest of your life and can destroy other relationships in your life. For instance, the movie even goes as far as to show how, this build-up rage and anger and obsession that Chris feels towards this devastation of Veronica leaving, how that hurts his friendship with Daniel, who's been nothing but good to him throughout the movie. So overall, what the movie Safe State focuses on is this idea of being able to let go of your past and move on with your life. From a filmmaking perspective, Safe State is an excellent example of working with the limited resources that you might have as a low-budget indie filmmaker. I mean, put it this way. For a science fiction movie, it's very small scale. The movie has one location, it has 4 characters, and that's it. Basically, you don't need to do this big Hollywood blockbuster like Star Wars if you want to make a feature-length science fiction film. Instead, you can scale that genre back to a very, small stakes story. I mean, the story focused on a, relationship between just a couple of people. Not this big, end of the world type of catastrophe that you see in a lot of other science fiction movies. Instead, the movie really focuses on this character-driven narrative and really hones in on each of these 4 characters and their development across the movie, especially that of Chris. And speaking of character development, that's actually what I believe to be Safe State's strongest point. I think that Scott Sawitz did an excellent job of crafting the narrative arc for Chris throughout the movie. Without spoiling plot details, I'm trying to be as vague as possible. I want you guys to check the movie out for yourself, so I don't want to tell you how it ends or anything like that. But the things that Chris does make sense in that moment. In his arc from beginning to end, you can understand why his character changes and the development that he goes through because of new things that he learns along the way. From the beginning, Chris is very selfish and has a one-track mind, but as a person and as a character, he grows throughout the movie. That's all I can really say without spoiling it. But something else about the characters too is this idea of dialogue and natural dialogue. And I'll say that Safe State has some really well-crafted dialogue. You look at Chris and Daniel and the dynamic between those two. They're both kind of nerdy. They're into a lot of like old movies, old video games. They're always making pop culture references. And let's be honest, I mean, that's just how people are. You know, people talk that way. People like to talk about movies they like. People like to talk about, you know, what games they like to play, and I find that to be very natural. And then between Veronica and then her best friend Stephanie, you know, they seem very realistic too with their own friendship dynamic. I mean, especially, you know, when it comes to the whole girl, you leave him and you know, that kind of mentality. I mean, that's realistic. And the characters in the movie really feel like, you know, people that you probably met in your own life. And if you've ever been in a relationship where, you know, you and your partner weren't really completely getting along, then the arguments between Veronica and Chris, I hate to say it, but I mean, they're kind of realistic too. I mean, if you've been there, you know, that's sometimes how that goes down. So, I mean, kudos to Scott Sawitz for really just honing in on a small scale independent film that really just drives home the art of good writing and good character development, and using the limited resources that you have, but still being able, if you're a science fiction fan, to make a feature film within that genre. So anyways, that's really all I have to say about Safe State. Definitely check it out. It is on Reveal, which is a streaming service. I'll have that linked down in the description of this video so that you guys can all check it out and watch it for yourself. But in the meantime, if you like this video and you want to see even more indie filmmaking content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It lets me know that you like these videos. Also, be sure to hit that bell for notifications too when you subscribe. That way you don't miss out on a new video here on the Frons Productions YouTube channel. And if you're an independent filmmaker and you want me to check out your movie, let me know down in the comments. All you got to do is drop the title of your movie, where I can watch it, and then I'll add it to the watch list for the Indie Movie Spotlight. I got tons of great more independent films people have reached out to me to watch, so I got a pretty long watch list, but I'm always looking for more to add on to that because I'd love to shine a spotlight on your work. Anyway, that's all I have time for today. Until next time, hey, that's a wrap.